What is up, all my chicken people? Welcome back to 5 Acre Farms. I'm Luke. We got another video for you. This one's gonna be a fun one. We're gonna start this series off called the Temu series. So if you don't know what Temu is, it's a website for really cheap stuff. So I went ahead and spent some of my good old money and bought us some super cheap stuff to try to show you guys if it's worth a few bucks or not. But it's raining right now, so let's find something to do in the garage and put together what I think is going to be the cheapest good nesting box you can find on Temu. Let's take a quick look at the meat chickens while we got them in here. These little butter balls, I've been feeding them mealworms, so they're excited to see me. But they are ready to go outside. I'm just waiting for it to stop raining. I got a few more over here. But yep, we're ready to go outside. I just don't want to put them outside and straight into the rain. So a couple more days in here and then off to greener pastures. Here she is. Yep, Temu's cheapest nesting box. Now before you guys jump on here and tell me there is cheaper nesting boxes on Temu than this one, you are correct. There are some cheaper ones. Are you gonna help me out, Ian? You gonna help me unbox? Yeah, like I said, isn't the cheapest nesting box on Temu, but everything cheaper than this is really not that great of a nesting box, or it's not going to fit my needs. I want a nesting box that can house several chickens. I can't remember if this is a rollaway nest box. When you buy stuff on Temu, it could take you a while to get it. So I can't remember. I do remember it was 60, I don't know. Hold on just a second. Let me pull my phone out and check price. Alright, so this is the Mare Sing chicken nesting box. It's a 6-compartment chicken box, and it was $69.37. I'm assuming before shipping, but it's currently discontinued. So let me see if I can find one similar. It's a 6-hole metal nesting box. And like I said, I can't remember if it's a rollout or not. It looks like all the other 6 holes currently are running around $75. But this is a metal nesting box. I think is a rollout. I don't know. We're going to find out together. But you can find these same ones on Amazon, and then they just add another $20 or $30 to it and mark it up. So, but on Temu, I paid $67 for this. Now, cheap is a relative term. To buy a hen gear or a some other type of metal nesting box, those things can cost upwards of $400 or $500 for rollout nest boxes. But these, I think, are easily worth $100 to $150, but this one was $67. So let's see if it's worth the crap. So we're gonna unbox it together and pretend that it's all there. But came straight from China. We're gonna put this together. It is getting rained on right now, but since it is metal, I'm not too worried. I have not opened this, so this is the first time I am seeing it. Guessing this is the top. Hey, it does come with instructions. That's convenient. So this is what it looks like. Pretty simple instructions. It looks like it has a roll-away system, which will be pretty sweet. Instructions are pretty man-friendly, where it's just pictures and no words. So I think this will work. Alright, we're going to keep that somewhere where it's going to stay dry. All the pieces have numbers on the inside. Like that's number 5. So that'll be convenient. Number 7. Yeah, that'll be interesting. It's got some dents and dings. Like that corner there is kind of goobered up. It doesn't exactly look like it was cut straight. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it looks like it's crooked. I guess it's supposed to be like that, because that's probably the roll-away. Ha, see? Not as dumb as I look. Well, maybe I am. Being a chicken person, I probably should have known that. But get all the pieces out here. All the hardware, or the bolts. It even came with some ceramic eggs. Look at that. Just these alone are like $10 for 2 of them. You usually put these in the nesting box to train your chickens to lay in the box. They even gave us some gloves for Chinese hands, I guess. These things are tiny. Don't want to get any viruses on your hands from China. Okay, not a political channel. More hardware. I'm gonna keep rocking the Michael Jackson gloves. I think this thing is able to be a freestanding unit, or you can bolt it to the wall. These are the legs, I'm guessing, if it's going to be a freestanding unit. I got an idea of kind of where I'm going to use this. Man. Just note that there is some assembly required with this thing. I think that's everything. But from first glance, when you buy stuff on Temu, one thing you really have to pay attention to is like size. So everything's smaller in person than it is on a picture. But if you stick with stuff that's not really like electronics or stuff that can break easy, I have a couple other products we're going to review, so that I broke that rule on just for you guys. But when you buy stuff that's all metal, it's kind of hard to screw it up. But I'll find a way. Alright, so I got all the parts and pieces. Let's clean up the trash here, get this out of the way, figure out what tools I need. I'll start putting this puppy together on Temu's cheapest 6-hole metal incubator. Or not incubator, nesting box. I'm going to take gloves off, sorry. So it came with all the hardware. I pulled it out of the bags. Pretty sure it's standard. It came with a couple tools. A heavy duty wrench, an Allen wrench, and since this is the cheapest nesting box, I went with the cheapest screwdriver I have from Harbor Freight, which was free. So Phillips head screwdriver. I think it comes with about everything else you need. So let's look at step 1 and start putting it together. Alright, we're going to start with number one, piece number one, which is the base. And it looks like on the instructions that you follow the numbers in orders. So like the first piece is 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you can move on to part 6, 7, and 8, so on and so forth. So I'm going to put you guys on a time lapse and follow the instructions. So far, first impressions, not terrible. From what I can tell, these little compartments for the hens are a little small. I'm not sure this is great for like Jersey Giants or something, but for a standard Rhode Island Red or Barred Rock or some standard heritage breed or smaller, I think it'll probably work. We'll find out. But I got this far, and the next step is installing the legs. So I am going to go ahead and install the legs, even though you can just mount it to the wall. I think the coop I'm going to put it in, well, we'll explain the coop I'm going to put it in, but it's not necessarily, it doesn't have straight walls. I think it'll make a better standalone unit than a wall hanging unit. So, alright, yeah. Back into time lapse we go. Put some legs on and keep moving. Instructions are fairly easy. Could use some smaller hands to put in some of these bolts a little tight places, but keep on keeping on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Temu's 6-hole roll-away nest box. First impressions, not terrible. Not the finest piece of craftsmanship. I will say that, like, if you're going to use, it comes with these little bolts, and they just kind of screw into some of the collars there, but if they don't screw in easy, then you're cross-threading them. So I figured out you kind of got to bend the metal a little bit to really get them in there. It comes with a bunch of these like concrete lag bolts, so obviously I'm not going to use that. I did see the Allen key comes with a little screwdriver in, so I guess you don't need to have your own tools. All in all, it probably took me about an hour to put together, and that's with just regular screwdrivers. If I had a drill, it would have went faster. But if you're going to use it as a roll-away, I'm not sure it has enough slope to roll an egg. Well, let me check here. I just happen to have a ceramic egg. So, it will roll, but once you put any type of nesting material in here, like roll-away nesting box pads or like AstroTurf or something, I don't think they'll really lay in here on just this bare metal. So maybe if you put some AstroTurf or some carpet or some of that roll-away nest box material, I'm not sure it has enough slope to roll an egg once you put that stuff in, but on bare metal it will slope an egg. So the little perch here on the front does come up, I guess, to keep chickens from going in there at night and sleeping. I think a smaller chicken can still fit through here. I think this needs to come up, needs to be extended another 3 or 4 inches if you're going to close up the nesting boxes at night. Now to open up and get your roll-away eggs, I mean, this isn't going to hold a ton of eggs. maybe a dozen on each row, best case scenario, and then before they're going to start backing up into the nesting spot. But for the most part, these little doors that open up, maybe I need to loosen them a little bit. They're tight. So they're super flimsy to open up to collect your eggs. Man, I don't know. These things are a little bit of adjustment on there. But yeah, let me pull you in here a little closer. So all these little bolts and stuff, it's pretty cheap, but this comes up and this opens up. And like I said, there's 2 eggs in there. So you might be able to get 6 per nesting box on standard size eggs. But like I said, they barely roll down on the metal, so I'm not sure if they will roll down on if you have any type of pad in there. But that folds in, that comes down, same deal. I think this unit would be perfect for like smaller chickens, silkies, millies, any type of bantam. I am Samanis, a smaller chicken. I think it'll work with a barred rock or some heritage stuff. It's gonna be a tight fit for some Jersey Giants or some Brahmas. But yeah, not a bad little nesting box, I guess, for 60 bucks. I'm not sure I'm gonna use it as a rollaway. I'll probably just put bedding in here and let them use it like that. This is made to mount to a wall, kind of, so it doesn't have any backing to it. I'll probably cut a piece of plywood and put it on the back. That way the chickens will have more incentive to go in there. But if you're putting it up to the back of a wall, it'll make a nice spot for a chicken to get in there and feel safe. It did come with a few extra bolts. I'm hoping they're extra and I didn't just forget something somewhere. But all in all, is it worth 67 bucks? As a nesting box, yes, I think it is. As a rollaway nesting box, absolutely not. I don't think the rollaway portion of this is going to work. I mean, it's fairly sturdy once it's put together, but this metal is pretty flimsy, so just keep that in mind. You can find them on Amazon too if you don't want to get them cheaper on Temu. But if there's anything else you guys want to see on from Temu chicken related, let me know. I got a couple other things in the works. The next couple videos I got a few more Temu products. But yeah, if there's anything else from Temu you want me to buy and test out for you guys, comment down below. Other than that, we'll see you guys on the next one. And don't forget, we love you guys. Don't haggle with your egg supplier. Buy local. We'll see you guys.